Good morning. Today is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. There is a seemingly bizarre feature of our Jewish calendar which occurs today, and it is seemingly counterintuitive. So, of course, we follow the lunar calendar, the cycles of the moon, and the lunar cycle is approximately 29 and a half days. But declaring a day as Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the new month, and observing that day as Rosh Chodesh must be a full day. We don't start it in the middle of the day. So, Rosh Chodesh could either be the 30th day after the previous Rosh Chodesh, that is, day 30 would be day number 1 for the next month, or, and that is referred to as a chaser, a missing month, missing a day, a shorter month, or it could be the 31st day after the previous Rosh Chodesh. That's called a mole, a full previous month. And usually they alternate. Mole chaser, mole chaser. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. But our rabbis established that whenever Rosh Chodesh is a mole, meaning the 31st day from the previous Rosh Chodesh is day number 1 for the next month, like this month, tomorrow, Wednesday, is the first day of the month of Adar Rishon. Whenever that happens, we observe 2 days of Rosh Chodesh. We observe today, which is really the 30th day of Shvat. It's got nothing to do with Adar Rishon, the next month. It's the last day of the last month. And we observe tomorrow, which is actually Rosh Chodesh, Adar Rishon, the first day of the Jewish month of Adar, but we observe them as 2 days. And just on the face of it, it sounds absurd, because Rosh Chodesh, the words mean the day which is the beginning of the month. So I understand that tomorrow is the day that's the beginning of the month. It's day number 1 in the month of Adar Rishon. But today is not the day of the beginning of the month. It is not Rosh Chodesh. It's not the beginning of the month. However, our rabbis ordained that this day should be observed just like Rosh Chodesh. Same way, with all the prayers and all the observances. The only difference is the counting of the calendar will only start from tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first day of the month. But today is a Rosh Chodesh, but without the privilege of being called day number 1 of a month. It's very strange. And this is not like the situation of Yom Tov, holidays outside of Israel. Communities outside of Israel observe 2 days of Yom Tov, even though in Israel it's only 1 day of Yom Tov. That's completely separate. That's because at a certain time in our history, it was not known to those communities living far away which day would be Yom Tov, so they observed 2 days in order to make sure that they were covering the correct day. And even though we now know what the correct day is, we still retain that custom. But this is different than that. This, we always know when Rosh Chodesh is. We always know. We know Rosh Chodesh is Wednesday. It's the first day of the month of Adar Rishon. Okay, so maybe you'll tell me, we want people to know, and we want people to remember that this month, this past month of Shvat, has been a mole, and Rosh Chodesh is on the 31st day of the month, which is tomorrow. So we want to do something that allows people to remember this is a 31-day month, not a 30-day month. All right. But even if you want people to remember that distinction, by making today Rosh Chodesh seems to be more confusing, because the point is to try to find some way to say that today is not Rosh Chodesh, but it's still part of the previous month. By observing it as Rosh Chodesh seems to just lead to more confusion as to which day is actually Rosh Chodesh. Today I had to prepare a Jewish legal document. And I had to insert the formal Jewish date as it is written in a formal Jewish legal manner. And this date is, in formal language, Yom Shloshim L'Chodesh Shvat, the 30th day of the month of Shvat, Shehu Rosh Chodesh Adar Harishon, which is Rosh Chodesh of Adar. But it just doesn't make any sense. It's just an internal contradiction. So there are several answers to this question. I want to share with you one that is suggested by one of the great commentators, Shibbolei Haleket. And he writes as follows. Every month, it could be that Rosh Chodesh is on the 30th day, and it could be that Rosh Chodesh is on the 31st day, like this month. Either day 30 is Rosh Chodesh, meaning the first day of Rosh Chodesh, then there's only one day of Rosh Chodesh. And the previous month was only 29 days. Or day 30 could have been Rosh Chodesh, but was pushed to the 31st day of the month. And then we treat the 30th day like it is Rosh Chodesh, because it's not Rosh Chodesh, but it has the potential to be Rosh Chodesh. Now, just having the potential doesn't make it true, because like this month, having the potential on day 30 to be Rosh Chodesh does not end with the result that it becomes Rosh Chodesh. So having the potential is not always brought out into reality. But next month it will. Next month, the 30th day will be Rosh Chodesh. One day Rosh Chodesh. But here's the point. Just having the potential, we recognize that as an achievement, as an accomplishment, as something special about this day. This day today is a day that could have been Rosh Chodesh. I've shared before that our Jewish calendar is configured to teach us lessons about life. And this is one of the most important lessons, that we model this quality to look for potential and to try to bring it to reality. That's what we are doing today. We are looking at this day, which has the potential to become Rosh Chodesh. This month it's not going to happen, but it has the potential. And we are celebrating the potential as if we can bring it into fulfillment. There's a famous line of our rabbis in Pirkei Avos, Ezehu Chacham, who is a wise person, Haroeh es hanolad, he who sees the future. Doesn't mean a person who's a fortune teller, who can tell you what's going to happen the day after tomorrow. That's not wisdom. A chacham is one who sees now what is not evident, what is now only in potential. and appreciates that potential and seeks to draw it to reality. Haroes Anolad is one who sees what is possible to become reality if the potential is brought to its full force. Rabbi David Wolpe uses a football analogy, and he applies this to rabbis whose job it is to look for, to search for potential in others and in himself, and to help draw it out. But it doesn't apply only to rabbis. It applies to every single one of us. But Rabbi Wolpe says, a rabbi must be a quarterback throwing a pass. Now, in order to be successful, you don't throw the ball where the receiver is, because the receiver is running down the field. You throw it where the receiver will be when the ball reaches him. And a great quarterback will throw the ball so far ahead of the receiver might think he will never reach it. But the quarterback's skill is to know the receiver's potential, maybe even better than the receiver knows himself. And through this ability to throw the football further ahead than the receiver even believes he'll be able to reach, and the receiver thinks he's not going to be able to get that far, but the quarterback, having trust in him that he could reach it, that he has the potential to reach it, gives him the energy to be able to find within himself or herself the speed to reach it and catch it. Because the quarterback trusts that the receiver can run faster than the receiver knows. And the receiver trusts that the quarterback knows my potential even more than I know myself. And if he's going to put the ball out there, he thinks that I can reach it. And that means I can. A good quarterback is able to see potential within a receiver the receiver does not even see themselves. And this applies in every area of life. One of the greatest acts of kindness that you can do for another person is to draw from them their potential that only you see, and to see that person stretch and strive to be able to achieve it, even though sometimes they won't. But the fact that you have seen that in that person, when I know that someone that I love and trust, and someone I know loves and trusts me, believes I can do this, that in itself is one of the greatest gifts of growth you can give someone. The first day, Rosh Chodesh, today. Today, you have it within you to be Rosh Chodesh. Okay, you didn't reach it this time, but you have it within you. And you will reach it next time. And we celebrate today as Rosh Chodesh to recognize the potential that you have to become Rosh Chodesh now, even if this time it didn't work. And we should seek to do this in every area of our lives for each other, and especially for ourselves. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person.